Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to episode 215 of the FAB and Fearless Business Booster Shot Show. My name is Yinka. I'm a business strategist, a coach, a speaker, and an incoming author, and I support women to create wealth in and through their businesses by helping them to focus on what matters most for the business, which is cash flow and strategy, and what matters most for the business owner, which is mindset and habits. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this 215th episode of the show, where each week at 1:30 p.m. UK time on a Wednesday, I come to you short, sharp shot to boost both you and your business with one powerful truth and one actionable tip. So if you can see and hear me over on my LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube socials, come into the chat and come and say hello. And we can get this party started. Today, we are talking about the power response to tough times. And I'm very honoured and excited to be able to share this with you today. Hello, Jackie Raymond. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook and LinkedIn. I appreciate you. Thank you for also letting me know that the tech is not teching this week and we are indeed live, which I am very excited to see. And so really looking forward to sharing these insights today, and really spend time focusing on the power response to tough times. Just ahead of that, usual housekeeping. So number one, please, as I said before, come into the chat. Let me know that you're here. I love to know who I'm speaking to. Feel free to tag a friend if you know someone going through tough times. An incredible woman in business who could definitely do with some pep in her step. Tag her on this video, allow her to come and join us. If she does, she'll be able to join us on Team Live. If not, she can join Team #replay. And we will definitely be welcoming her into the space. That's number one. Number two, please hit reshare and let the interwebs know that we are indeed live so that they can show it to other incredible people. And we will be able to share this insight with more people across the platforms. And then finally, I've already said, let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how you are doing today. 1 being, woo, Yinka, things could not be any worse. A 10 being, woo, Yinka, I'm so excited, things could not be any better. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how you are doing and feeling today. I'm a strong 7 today. I have been many different numbers today, if I am fully honest, but I'm a strong 7. So I set the intention I always set for y'all. I'm going to set it for me too. I set the intention that that number will be much higher by the time I finish today's episode, because today we are focusing on the power response to tough times. Now, the reason I wanted to share this today is twofold. Number one, because I am definitely experiencing some tough times as a result of the, tragic, frustrating, untimely, infuriating situation around Professor Jason Arday, and also having spoken to colleagues, having spoken to clients, there is just a real and palpable sense of challenge, of pressure, of pain, of grief in so many spaces that I have spoken to and witnessed over the last few days. My heart, my prayers just go out to his family and friends and loved ones. I cannot even imagine the pain and challenge that they are feeling. But also I'm seeing this collective grief and this collective pain across the board. And a number of people have spoken about how tough they are finding, the last few days. And so I wanted to talk about this because it's really important in these times, especially with everything that has happened. It's really important that people know and understand that they are not alone. You are not alone. However it is that you are feeling, whatever it is that that is going on in your world and in your life, you are not alone. You're not alone in your pain, in your grief, in your challenge. There are people who love you. There are people who know that their world is better with you in it. And so I really wanted to presence that, verbalize that, say that. That is something I've said in private spaces consistently over the last few days, and something I really want to declare publicly. You are not alone, no matter how alone you may feel. Our feelings are not facts. It is so important that we do not just simply align with them and agree with what they are telling us. And so tough times are upon a number of people in this moment. But the other reason why I really wanted to talk about this topic today is because we tend to have a really interesting relationship with tough times. We tend to think that tough times come when you've done something wrong, tough times come when something bad happens, when you've gone the wrong way, when there's a detour, or basically, tough times come from problems or are around the word problem. They are things that we perceive very negatively, and they are things that we perceive as something to be avoided, something to be ashamed of, something to, keep quiet and not really speak about. And actually, I want to normalize the fact that tough times are part and parcel of progress. Someone dropped that for me in the chat. Tough times are part and parcel of progress. It is par for the course. If you are making progress, if you are moving forward, if you are changing lives, destinies, and situations, tough times are par for the course. And it's so interesting because I was going to say tough times are proof that you're moving forward. Trust me when I tell you that even if you're standing still, you may still encounter tough times. So, what I will say is tough times are proof of life. Whether you're standing still, whether you're moving forward, whatever is happening, tough times are proof of life. And therefore, while I don't want them to be common, I definitely don't want them to be anything other than normalized. It's really important that we normalize that sometimes times are tough, not because we did anything wrong, not because we took a detour, not because we are problematic or there is a problem or anything. Nothing to do with problem, everything to do with progress. Tough times are part and parcel of what happens when you decide that you are going to make a difference. Someone drop that for me in the chat, please, because the reason why I need this to be really understood is because if we understood that tough times are part and parcel of progress, we'd feel really differently about them. We would understand that tough times are seasonal, that so much in nature is cyclical, that this too shall pass, that change is the only constant, and that none of these things last forever. And I know it doesn't help to know when you're in the thick of the worst thing. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to take a swig of water. When you're in the middle of the worst thing, the last thing you want to hear is it's not going to last forever because it burns right now. But the thing I need you to hear from me is that it truly will not last forever, which means that better times are coming. When you are in tough times, knowing that better times are coming does make a difference. When? I don't know. I don't have that crystal ball. Even though I have that direct line to the Father, I don't have that answer for you. But I do know that better times are coming, and that hope is important. And so that's the reason why I wanted to share it today, because so many people are feeling so heavy, so laden, so burdened, so challenged. And I want you to know that because tough times are part and parcel of progress, this is a season. This is not, let's not make it a state. It's a season. It is something we're passing through. It's not a state. We're not here to stay. We are not intending to stay here. But what I wanted to talk about more specifically is the idea of a power response. Why? Because when something happens to us, there are always two ways we can do something in return. We can either respond, which is what I want to talk about today, or we can react. And the thing is, so many people react. I have had the brunt of so many people's reactions over the last few days on social media. It is not fun. It is not helpful. Reacting is not supportive, not to the person and not to the recipient. And so the reason why I want to talk about a power response today is because we are not here to react. We're not children, unless we're children, in which case, hi, children. But for the rest of us, we are not children. We are not, reactions are not helpful. They are human, but they are not helpful. And so, what we want to do is to shift from this mode of reaction into powerful, intentional response. It is so important that we recognize that initial reaction, powerful, important, informative, but it isn't helpful. Not everything, one of the things I always say to my beautiful sons, it's not everything that comes in your head has to come out your mouth. Those reactions are so, so powerful, but they are for you, they're not for everybody. It's so important. Oh, it's so good to see so many other ladies and gents in the space. Welcome, Latrice. Thank you so much for joining. We have a LinkedIn user who could be Sharon, who could be Sonia. I don't know who you are, but the comment of the LinkedIn user, so you can tell me who you are, is tough times don't last forever. But having a resilient mindset helps you ride the wave, keep moving forward, and trust that better days are ahead. Thank you so much for that. Latrice, you have said, having 3 sons in their young adult years, I've had this conversation with them often. I will be sending this replay to them all. So it's not just coming from mom. Hi, Latrice's incredible sons. Your mama is amazing. Listen to your mama. And it is so important to recognize the reaction is right. However you react internally is right. There is no right or wrong to the internal reaction. That's just how you are. It just is. But the idea that we are going to translate what is happening internally directly externally without consideration, without intention, without filter, nah. That's the difference between adults and children. And so, what I want to talk about today is a power response. Because even in responding, you can have weak responses, you can have disorganized responses, but you can also have a power response. And a power response is ensuring that you create the results that you want out of the scenario that you're in. See, hey, Becky Young, thank you for joining over on Facebook. See, the fact is that I am someone who loves and has redefined what thriving gets to mean. And I love the definition that I got from Pastor Darius Daniels, because he talks about thriving being about making sure that you are able to do the best that you can with whatever you have in the season that you're in. And the reason why I love that definition is because nothing is excluded. You do the best that you can, the best that you can, not anybody else, no one else's rules, no one else's rulers, just yours, with whatever you have. So again, no one else's resources, no one else's judgment, just whatever you have in the season that you are in. That means that you can thrive even in tough times. And I'm definitely, as someone who is all about rich and rested, making a stand for the and, check out last week's video. I'm definitely somebody who is about thriving irrespective of the season that you are in. But then you need to know how to thrive. You need to have the tools and the ability to do so. And part of that is what I want to share today. See, I can't promise you not tough times. I can't. I don't know how. It's not up to me. It's not like tough times are proof of progress. They're a sign of life. But what I know is that a power response, first of all, comes from acknowledging what your feelings are and what they are sharing with you. Now, notice I did not say acting upon them. Notice I did not say reacting or responding to them. It is really about ensuring that you acknowledge whatever that activation, that emotional activation is, whatever it is, you need to acknowledge it and make sure that you honor what it is saying to you. This is the reason, sidebar, that I love jealousy. Jealousy is one of the most powerful emotions that we have. And it's so interesting because we're taught that jealousy is terrible. we should never be jealous. You should always be grateful. You should always be grateful. That won't stop you being jealous, trust me. As someone who is always grateful, that doesn't mean I never feel jealous. But you know why jealousy is so powerful? Because it shows you what you truly want. Jealousy as an activation really helps you to be clear about something that is truly that you truly desire. And in a world where so many people have suppressed their real desires, have spent so long putting other people's needs before their own, jealousy is a great space to learn what is truly important to you. And it might not be the individual thing, it might be your perception of the thing, the feelings that come from the thing, what you think the thing means, how it makes you feel. But jealousy is such a powerful and instructive emotion. So is rage. Now, please don't hear what I'm not saying. Nobody enjoys feeling jealous. Nobody enjoys feeling rage. Do they feel good in the moment? No. Are they excellent, powerful, instructive emotions that can help you do better? All the church says yes. They are incredible. But you know what? We can't acknowledge our emotions if we don't actually honor, sit with them, admit to them, sit with them, engage with them. If we act like we don't feel that, oh no, 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 we're suppressing our emotions, then we will never get the lessons and the opportunity that they have to give us. We cannot give a power response to tough times if we will not acknowledge and honor our true emotions. Now, note, as I said before, we are in the realm of a power response, not a weak response, and definitely not a reaction. And so, the second piece, after we have acknowledged and honored our emotions, the second piece of the puzzle that is so important is to check in on our resources. And specifically, our internal resources and our external resources. We cannot go out with all the vim in the world if we do not have the energy to back it up. I've been so enjoying Dim's Day to Day, the Facebook account with the beautiful baby boy Ire, and who has been on bicycle adventures with his father, Dimiji. I love those two, have been the highlight of my internet over the last few weeks. And Ire wants a baby bicycle. And I am one of the internet aunties who is not about baby bicycle life. I don't know if any of you have seen this account. Shout out to Dim and Iri and lovely, beautiful Mo, who just celebrated her birthday. Now, the reason I'm not just, apart from the fact that you will thank me so much when you go and find Dim and Iri, the reason why I'm sharing this is because Dim has just done the Scottish half marathon. Now, the thing that I want you to be aware of is that very few people wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to run a half marathon. If you can't run to the end of the street, then running a half marathon is not something that you should set yourself up for. You cannot create a power response if you do not have the resources to do so. So your power response needs to be proportional to your capacity. And I'm throwing down these words because what we often do is we shape our power response in line with our capability. What we are capable of and what we have capacity for are two different things. Capacity is what you have access to now. Capability is all the things that you could possibly do. I'm loving the chat. I can see that we have some Dim and Ire fans as well. Baby bicycle era is inevitable, Jackie. Dim has already told us. And so it is so important that we prepare ourselves. I am one of the internet aunties. I was not team baby bicycle. I was team, no, you cannot have a baby bicycle, Iri. But you know, daddy's decided that it's for you. If it's for you, then I'm behind it. But the point here is that we have to ensure that we have the right and appropriate capacity for the power response we want to give. If you are feeling heavy and low and then you want to give a response that is going to take you 4 hours but you have 25 minutes, that clearly can't be the right response for you in this moment. It is so, so important. I love that, Becky. Becky said like capital versus cash flow. Very much so. If you don't have what the revenue of a sale versus the cash of a sale may or may not be the same thing. You want to make sure that you have what you need in order to create the response that you want. Hi, Tayo, lovely to see you here. She says your power response needs to be proportional to your capacity. Do not confuse it with your capability. Because, ladies and gents, you are far more capable than you can possibly imagine. But what you have capacity for is exactly in line with what you have capacity for. The two may or may not relate. So you need to assess your resources, your internal resources, mental capacity, energy, focus, time, attention, your external resources, relationships, cash flow. And yes, of course, we're going to be talking about cash flow. Because yes, cash flow is one of those ubiquitous resources that you have that amplifies your other resources. How much time you have is very different to how much time you can access with your cash flow. How much energy you have is very different to how much energy you can access with your cash flow. This is the reason why I bang this cash flow drum, because your cash flow amplifies so many of your other resources, so many of the things that you have access to. And so, number one, we honor our emotions. We investigate and we sit and we interrogate what those emotions have to tell us. Number two, we check in on our resources. Number three, we get fully intentional about what a win will look like. And when you hear that, you might say, well, a win for who? And I will say, for me personally, I'm an entrepreneur, so I create wins for all. If everyone's not winning, I'm not thinking hard enough. Now, that's me, that's my standard. I'm not asking anyone else to take it for theirs. But for us as entrepreneurs who are truly creating something sustainable, wins for all is the standard. How do I create a win for me, for the other party, for the market, all of those things? And oftentimes, it's exactly the same action that creates wins for all. I'll give you an example. I am somebody who doesn't do discounts. I don't do discounts in my business. I don't do discounts in my business because I don't run a business where discounts is a helpful and useful business strategy. Now, some people, I meet people all the time and they're like, oh, I'd love to work with you, but I don't have the money. Can I have a discount? And let me just backtrack on that particular last sentence. I don't get asked for discounts very often. I make it clear enough for long enough that I don't do discounts. So people don't ask, and I totally respect that. Please don't ask if you don't like hearing the word no, because the answer is always going to be no. I don't do discounts. But I do payment plans. I have a number of different offers. The cheapest and most accessible thing you can get from me costs £30. Yes, at the other end, the most expensive thing you can get from me is £150,000. So maybe don't start with that one. But if you are serious about solving the problem, and you have £30, you can access my good knowledge, my good insights, and an opportunity for you to move things forward. And so the reason I share this is because when I meet somebody and they're like, oh, I really want some help and I really want to work with you, holding the boundary of not giving discounts creates a win for them, because I don't then change my first promise, which is my price. I don't change it and then have them thinking, well, is this really the price? Should I buy now? Is Yinka going to give a discount? Everybody knows the price is the price is the price is the price. So I hold the boundary. It creates wins and certainty for my client. It creates wins for me. It creates wins for the marketplace. The market is very clear where I have positioned my offers and pricing, and it isn't in the discount end of the situation. So for me, wins for all is the standard. And as I've just given in that specific example, doing one thing can create wins for everybody. Wins for everybody doesn't always look good or feel good for everybody. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of people who would love a discount from me. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But there are other ways that I can surprise you, I can delight you, and ensure that I run a sustainable business so that 10 years from now, when you're still looking for the fabulous South London by by Nigerians type flair that I have to deliver in the marketplace, the business will actually still be here. Wins for all is the standard. So you have to be intentional about what the win will be. And then the fourth and final step here is that get started in your response. Send the post, make the connection, make the offer, ask for the sale, go collect your cash, take the tiny action that moves you forward to the next thing. Response is an action, it's a verb, it's a doing work. Something has to be done. Like thinking good thoughts and woosahing and feeling great is great, but that isn't a response. And if your choice is to keep quiet, keeping quiet is also a response and it's an intentional response, but it still is a verb. Something has to be done. There needs to be an action. The powerful opportunity that we have is to remember that the easiest way to predict the future is to create it. We have the opportunity to remember that we get to thrive in those tough times by being intentional with our power responses. I've contrasted power versus weak responses. I contrasted responding versus reacting, capacity versus capability. So you can hear that there are nuances in this. And, the replay will be up in like 2 minutes after I finish this broadcast shortly. But I want you to understand, ladies and gents, that the opportunity that you have, whatever season you are in, is to recognize that you can respond in power, in intentionality, in alignment with your values, and create wins for all. But it's not going to happen by default. You are going to need to design and be intentional as hell out of what it is that you are trying to do. And so, my one actionable tip for you today, your one powerful truth was that the easiest way to predict the future is to create it. But my one actionable tip is for you to have a look. Where are things feeling tough right now for you? And wherever they are, okay, how will you use this 4-part framework that I shared? Honoring your feelings, number one. Number two, checking your resources. Number three, getting intentional about creating wins. And number four, taking that first power action. How will you use that to create progress and opportunity for thriving wherever you are experiencing tough times today? Let me know in the comments or indeed in my DMs where that might be for you. And let me know how you will create incredibly powerful responses in these tough times so that you can also take the steps that you need to thrive too. Right, ladies and gents, that is everything I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me live. I really, really appreciate it. I have a new webinar coming. I'm so excited. We are putting on in the final touches to a brand new piece of incredible content to really support you to understand how to create, to make your cash flow inevitable, make it the foregone conclusion in your business, in your side hustle, in your main hustle, in your personal, in your professional finances, all the vibes. So I don't have the link yet, but I will do probably later today or tomorrow. If you want me to drop that for you, feel free to drop the word webinar in the comments or in my DMs, and I will send that to you as soon as it becomes available. But ladies and gents, this has been a joy. Brenda, thank you very much for joining. Tayo, so lovely to see you. Becky, Jackie, Mary, lovely to have you in the space. So many of you joined today, and I am so here for it. Thank you, Latrice, and the anonymous LinkedIn user. Ladies and gents, feel free, come into the chat, share your biggest takeaway, and I look forward to seeing you in the spaces. Take care, have a good one. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.